these things called industrial control systems, or Scada, supervisory control. And so you may have heard of these before. And really, it is things that are a lot of times accustomed to being very finite in what they do and the functionality that they adhere to. So a lot of attacks that we see aren't just on the internet. They're not just on mobile apps. They're not just on Microsoft or Cisco products. We're seeing that a lot of not only the Internet of Things, but also microcontrollers and things like FPGAs are also being picked on as far as attacks being put to those. And because of that, there has been a significant push in recent years to figure out how we can protect the infrastructure that is built on the industrial control systems and the SCADA networks that are out there. And because of that, usually what we see is there's a lot of usually these devices that were implemented for, let's say, controlling pressure or maybe unlocking or lifting levers, or maybe for dams or power plants or things like that. Usually those terminal units that are being invoked by human machine interfaces, a lot of times what we see is they're not sophisticated as some of the newer technologies. They work perfectly fine, but they're not as sophisticated because of the innate capability of it having a very finite purpose in what it's doing. And because of that, many legacy SCADA implementations rely on older proprietary implementations and communication protocols. So they are sometimes susceptible to different types of attacks. There are various publications. NIST put out the 800-82 that has a bunch of different recommendations for industrial control system security, and being able to apply risk management to those is one of the techniques. Maybe implementing a intrusion detection system of some kind, disabling any unneeded ports. Those are the kind of things that we need to take a look at whenever we're talking about some of these legacy systems that are out there. And another thing that we mentioned, or we saw on one of the questions the other day, many times those types of systems have either a maintenance hook or a built-in backdoor. So that makes it even more susceptible to potentially being compromised. Let me throw out an idea here. I'm a football fan. Actually, I'm a sports fan, and I'm having trouble figuring out what to do with my life with no sports right now. But I think about the Super Bowl down in New Orleans. I think it was the Ravens and 49ers. When the Harbaugh brothers were playing each other, I think it was the 49ers were out to a big lead, and just around halftime or right before halftime, I don't remember the timing of it because I'm kind of talking off the cuff, the power went out to the Superdome. And the power stayed out for, I want to say, 45 to 50 minutes. And it totally changed the outcome of that game. If you recall, I think the 49ers were in command of that game, and then the power went out. Something weird happened, right? The power went out. and then the Ravens ended up coming back and winning that game because of the layoff, and there was speculation that the power grid had been compromised, and that Vegas had something to do with it because of the lines or the amount of money that was put on the line to be able to manipulate to keep the score closer, so there wouldn't be as many big payouts. And now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. But that's really, and what I can recall is that's the only time that's happened in Super Bowl history. And a lot of times these systems have these maintenance hooks built into them, where it might not necessarily be a default password, but maybe if you enter 2 or 3 commands in a row, you're able to get into an administrative function, and by doing that, invoke some nastiness incognito for some of these older SCADA systems. So keep that in mind as you're going through and learning about some of these legacy systems. Is there any questions on that, or anybody want to have any comments? Razik, I know this is an area for you. This is a pretty big area for you.
I don't have any question right now, but Scada is one of my areas.